I mean, there will be a new president, and it could be Donald Trump.
I have nothing to say of him.
In the midst of a presidential campaign, which is proving to be pretty divisive, you've declared your backing for Hillary Clinton.
Lady Gaga didn't just criticize Trump, she absolutely destroyed him on live TV with a takedown that left everyone's jaw on the floor. The orange turd was probably reaching for his phone to rage tweet before realizing Twitter isn't even called that anymore. What exactly did Gaga say that has everyone talking? And why are Trump supporters foaming at the mouth while his critics are calling this the most savage celebrity takedown in political history? The full video explains everything, but trust me, you won't believe what came out of her mouth at the 2:34 mark. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
He claims that he represents people who have been unrepresented, who haven't had a voice.
I think what is most important is for us to try to decipher now what is real and what is not.
Did you catch what Lady Gaga said about Trump? The pop superstar showed up at a Biden rally in Pittsburgh, and what was supposed to be a celebrity endorsement turned into an absolute demolition of the former president. One minute she was there as a performer, the next minute she transformed into a political wrecking ball. Nobody in that crowd was ready for what came next. Gaga didn't mess around with subtle jabs or polite disagreement. She went straight for Trump's jugular with the precision of someone who knew exactly which buttons to push. To the women in the audience, she said with fire in her eyes, vote against the man who believes his fame gives him the right to grab one of your daughters or sisters or mothers. The audience erupted. This wasn't your typical celebrity endorsement speech where they read some talking points their publicist prepared. This was Gaga making it personal. What made her takedown so effective was how she directly referenced Trump's notorious grab them by the paw on my comments from that infamous Access Hollywood tape. But she didn't just mention it. She reframed it in a way that made every woman in that audience feel it on a visceral level.
Some people want to win races. Other people want to be president of the United States.
She wasn't talking about some abstract scandal from years ago. She was connecting Trump's own disgusting words to the women they all love. The crowd's reaction told the whole story. They went absolutely bonkers, cheering, applauding, some even jumping up and down. This wasn't polite golf clap appreciation. This was the sound of thousands of people watching someone say exactly what they'd been thinking, but with the theatrical intensity that only Lady Gaga could deliver. The moment felt electric and authentic in a way political events rarely do. You could see Trump supporters losing their minds online as the clip went viral. Who does this Hollywood elite think she is? They screamed into the void of Twitter. Stick to singing, they demanded, as if having fame somehow disqualifies you from having political opinions. Unless you're a reality TV star running for president, of course. What the mega crowd didn't understand was that Gaga wasn't just speaking as a celebrity. She was speaking as a woman who recognized the danger in Trump's casual attitude towards sexual assault. When she delivered those lines, you could see it wasn't just performance. There was genuine concern behind those words, genuine anger at how Trump's behavior had been normalized. Trump's campaign was so rattled by Lady Gaga's influence that they actually issued an official press release attacking her before she even opened her mouth at that rally. When a president known for fighting with dictators and world leaders feels the need to go after a pop star, you've got to ask yourself, what was he so afraid she would say? The drama between Trump and Mother Monster didn't start with Gaga's scathing speech. No, the Donald fired the first shot in this celebrity showdown, proving once again that his skin is thinner than his comb-over. His campaign desperately tried to paint Gaga as public enemy number one by labeling her an anti-fracking activist. Oh, the horror. In Pennsylvania, where 600,000 people work in the fracking industry, Trump's team thought this would be their golden ticket to victory. Tim Murtaugh, Trump's communications director, actually claimed that Gaga's appearance at Biden's rally was a sharp stick in the eye for Pennsylvanians. Imagine being so threatened by a pop star that you need your PR team to write an entire press release about her. Talk about living rent-free in someone's head. Speaking of living rent-free, Gaga clapped back on Twitter with the perfect response. Hey, Tim. Hey, a real Donald Trump, so happy I'm glad to be living rent-free in your head. Boom. No elaborate music video needed. Just a tweet that burned hotter than her meat dress at the VMAs. During a rally in Scranton, Trump pulled his classic move. Vague threats with zero substance. Lady Gaga is not too good. I could tell you stories about Lady Gaga, he mumbled to his supporters. Ooh, scary. What exactly could these stories be? That she once wore a dress made of bubbles? That she emerged from an egg at the Grammys? Crowd waited for some juicy gossip, but as usual, Trump delivered nothing but hot air. Even Fox News joined the anti-Gaga parade. Co-host Brian Kilmeade claimed she was mocking average Pennsylvanians. Because obviously, when a woman speaks her mind about sexual assault, she's just mocking regular folks, right? This ridiculous argument showed just how desperate Trump's team had become. What's particularly telling is how Trump has a pattern of feeling threatened by influential cultural figures. Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, and now Lady Gaga, all targeted by the former president when they dared to speak against him. Notice a pattern? When powerful voices, especially women's voices, challenge him, Trump immediately tries to discredit them rather than address their actual criticisms. But why did Lady Gaga's words in particular cut through Trump's usually impenetrable ego? While most political attacks bounce off him like spitballs on a tank, her theatrical delivery targeting his treatment of women landed like a precision missile on the one topic that makes the former president visibly squirm. This wasn't just another celebrity taking a random shot at Trump. Gaga targeted the very foundation of his self-image, a man who sees power as his birthright and uses it however he pleases. For a guy whose entire personality is built around being a winner and a strong man, having a woman publicly call out his predatory behavior isn't just politically inconvenient, it's psychologically devastating. What made Gaga's takedown so effective was her performance skills. She didn't just read a statement, she delivered an emotional gut punch with all the theatrical flair you'd expect from someone who knows how to command a stage. Political analysts noticed something special about her delivery. It wasn't just the words, but how she said them that made people pay attention. And talk about bad timing for Trump. Just days before an election, one of the world's biggest stars reminded voters about that gross Access Hollywood tape. Remember that mess? The one where Trump bragged about grabbing women because he's famous? Yeah, that one. Gaga brilliantly connected those disgusting comments to the real women in voters' lives. Their mothers, daughters, sisters, wives. She made it personal. The crowd's reaction tells the whole story. When Gaga dropped her most devastating line about Trump, believing fame gives him the right to grab women, the place absolutely erupted. This wasn't polite political applause. It was the sound of a message hitting its target perfectly. You can literally see in the video how her words resonated with every person in that audience. Trump's response to Gaga's critique was just as telling as the critique itself. Instead of addressing the substance of what she said, he fell back on his usual playbook. Vague threats and personal attacks. I could tell you stories about Lady Gaga, he muttered at his rally, without actually telling any stories. Classic Trump move when he's got nothing real to say. For all his tough talk, Trump has never found an effective way to counter criticism about his treatment of women. It's the chink in his armor he can't patch up because, well, the receipts are there in his own words. And having someone with Gaga's influence point this out to younger voters in swing states, that's the kind of thing that keeps campaign managers up at night. Those receipts in Trump's own words might haunt him, but Gaga wasn't just there to remind voters of his past. After landing her knockout punches, she did something few celebrities ever manage when talking politics. She made it about more than just hating the other side. The headlines all screamed about the Trump roast, but they completely missed the surprising twist in her speech that might actually change more minds than any insult ever could. While most celebrity political moments are about as deep as a puddle in the Sahara, Gaga flipped the script. After verbally body-slamming Trump into next week, she pivoted to something America rarely gets from famous people with microphones. A genuine call for bringing people together. The press was so busy celebrating her Trump takedown that they totally missed the bigger message hiding in plain sight. There's a lot of young people that really love each other, and if we can reestablish that human connection and get everyone to start speaking, I believe this divisiveness can be overcome, Gaga told the crowd. This wasn't your typical orange man bad celebrity rant. This was Mother Monster trying to mother a nation back to some kind of sanity. What makes her approach different is that she didn't just trash Trump and walk off stage. Instead, she emphasized the historic role women would play in the election, directly telling the crowd, tomorrow women will be a part of making this decision. That's not celebrity fluff. That's recognizing the genuine power of women voters in a way that respects their agency rather than just using them as props. When Gaga declared, "I cast my vote for someone who will be a president for all," she wasn't just endorsing a candidate. She was painting a vision of what America could be, a place where leadership serves everyone, not just the people who voted for you. It's the kind of inclusive message you'd expect from someone who's spent her career fighting for LGBTQ+ rights and other marginalized communities. Even her performance of "Shallow" wasn't just a random hit song tacked onto a political rally. The emotional depth of that song, about taking risks and diving into something meaningful, perfectly complemented her message about taking the risk to rebuild connections across political divides. Leave it to Gaga to create a complete artistic experience, even at a campaign event. What's genuinely refreshing about Gaga's approach is that she managed to be fiercely critical of Trump without making that criticism the entirety of her message. In our political hellscape where most celebrity endorsements amount to "the other side is evil and we're angels," Gaga offered something different: harsh criticism paired with genuine hope, the political equivalent of a spoonful of sugar helping the medicine go down. Gaga didn't drop the mic after her speech and walk away. She kept the conversation going. When Trump and his cronies tried to attack her on social media, she simply doubled down on her message. That's the difference between a celebrity endorsement and real political advocacy. While Trump whines about Hollywood elites, Gaga actually mobilized young voters to get involved in democracy. The numbers don't lie. Celebrities like Gaga bring critical issues to people who might otherwise tune politics out. Her fans weren't just there for "Shallow." They were there to be part of something bigger. The real impact wasn't about hurting Trump's feelings, though his orange face probably turned a bit redder. It was about turning star power into voter power, especially with younger Americans who needed that extra push to participate in deciding their country's future.